Now we'll get into the most recent figure that came out, which is the Jessie figure. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into this one because this is a newer figure. So right off the bat, it's hard to stand her. She probably has the weakest ankle joints. Alright, so she comes with a few accessories. She comes with this machine gun here, and it does look like a Mac 10 with some add-ons on it. She has like a feather on it, a forward grip, and a foldable stock. So that's cool. She also comes with a grenade, and I had to tack this gun into her hand. She only has a right hand to hold the gun, and so if you want to make her hold the grenade and the gun, I had to tack on that hand. And she comes with a few different faces. Right now I have her winking face, where she's got something in her eye. And again, with the faces, same issue as the rest of the female faces. It could have been done better, and it's not as good as the promotional images. So they look a little bit cartoony. I think they could have done it a little bit more of a realistic. And she does come with a decent amount of hands. And this is the trigger finger, gun holding hand that I was talking about earlier. Pointing hand, fist, another fist, open hand, another pointing hand. So she doesn't come with a left-handed gun holding hand, only a right gun holding hand, which is unfortunate. So here's the gun, closer up. Pretty good details on it, pretty good paint on it. That came out pretty good. Here's a close-up of the grenade. It's got the blue and red colors, and that's stuck to the hand. You have to take the hand out. The hands don't really snap onto the peg, they just kind of plug in and sit there. But she does hold the gun. It's kind of at an angle, and also the wrists are kind of loose. It's kind of hard to take the face out to swap it. So the actual figure is really good. It's one of the better ones out of the line. The sculpt, the painting, the shading on it. Although I have one major disappointment, I'll get into that in a little bit. But you have the armor pieces, the chainmail, and the buckles are all painted. The armor has it's nice and shiny. You got the articulated hair. The hair is painted nice. You have the headband. Then you have her undersuit, which is painted there. Then you have her pants, belts, this pouch, all the buckles, all the pockets, all the wrinkles. Then you have her shin armor. They did a good job on the look of the figure, minus the paint on the face. But one huge disappointment, one major complaint is the reuse of these crappy elbow joints. So the same elbow joints that Aerith has, and you run into the same problem as with that figure. So when you rotate the elbow, it rotates inside this right here, and then it stretches it out, and then it sticks out so that it starts to flare out. So I don't know, the only way I see fixing that would be to glue the top part of the joint here into this upper part here. They could have done the same elbow joints that they used on Cloud or Sephiroth. So for example, Cloud has more secure in the bicep here. So overall it's more uniform. You do get some swivel down here. It's not going to get loose over time, and it's not going to flare out over time. So that's disappointing because it just looks ugly. So Cloud's is not that bad. I mean, this is significantly worse than this. Yeah, you get more range, you get past 90 degrees, but it looks bad. So that's another reason why I don't like those elbow joints. I don't know why they use them. They could have definitely improved by using the other kind, but and the articulation is good on this figure. It's just as good as the rest. The torso movement is better, probably the best out of all the figures. The hands, the wrist swivel is a little loose. The hands are also not super tight on there like the rest of the figures. And the legs do full splits and forward. And then the thigh swivel so there's no problem there. The joints are really tight in the legs. The knees are actually nice and smooth, so that's very different from the rest of the figures where they have tight knee joints, but this is very smooth. It's not loose, so that's a good improvement on the rest of the figures. No ankle swivel or anything. So we get to the feet. She probably has the weakest ankle joints out of all the figures, which is disappointing. Again, I don't know why they can't fix that. It's not that hard to make tighter joints. But you do get toe articulation, which isn't really helpful. There's also no ankle pivot really on any of these figures. So the way that the joints are set up, what you have to do is rotate the actual joint, then rotate the foot, then you can go side to side, then you have to realign it if you want forward and back. So it's not like a traditional ankle rocker. The feet don't really help with posing, like she just falls constantly. And again, you could use a stand, right? That's what the stands are for, to help the figures stand. You know, that's why they're called stands, is why they include them with the figures. Look how much space that takes up. And of course, the figures do stand after you put them in the stand, but that's a lot of space. And these figures already take up a lot of space. If you have multiple set up, we just had a little earthquake there, but nothing stops me from reviewing. So back to more important matters. These stands suck. I hate them. But you know what? Figures aren't that bad. I just wish we had more variety and different options rather than being forced to collect from one line, from one company. I wish we had more options for officially licensed Final Fantasy figures, but you know what? They're still fun to pose around and play with. It's just kind of annoying that they don't scale with most of my other figures. And like I said before, they take up a lot of space. The stands suck. The faces on the female figures are not the greatest, and they could be a lot better. If I was to rank these, I'd probably put Cloud number 1. 2 would be Barrett. 3, Sephiroth. 4, Red 13. 5, Tifa. 6, Jessie. 7, Aerith. Which is kind of dumb because Aerith's probably my second favorite character. You know, with the elbow joints, and then the face is not that great. I'm gonna have to put her last. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at TrendKillToys. I'll see you guys in the next video.